Happy full moon and 11:11. This is Kristen with Awakened Soul, and I just spent 3 days having an amazing time crystal digging and diamond digging in Arkansas, and found some really beautiful pieces. No diamonds though, but other beautiful rocks that come with volcanic activity, like some agates and jasper. And I really wanted to do this video atop the Crystal Mountain, but the weather changed yesterday. We were out there digging and it was raining and then started to sleet and the temperature started to drop. So getting cold, we left and then had to navigate mountain hills in that weather. So here I am today in a warm, cozy place to share with you the depth of what's happening right now with the full moon and what came through with the 11:11. And the 11:11 is a really nice symbolic way to bring ourselves into a space of awareness and catalyst. And yes, some portals do open, yet it's really just a collective reminder of what's possible for us in this time. And with the full moon and what's happening right now is the sun is really shifting in its magnetism. I mean, we have been getting, download after download after download of codes from the sun to come into unity, to come into our full embodied self, right? And do all the transformation and the shifting that it takes for that. And the sun is going through its own transformation, its own evolution, ascension, experience. We're all experiencing this together, and the bodies as planets and stars are also receiving these codes from the central sun and doing and becoming and changing to what is really meant for all of us to experience together. And so the sun's magnetism is shifting, which the sun being so massive, of course, is affecting the magnetism of our planet, of the moon, of all the other planets. And this is something that is going to take place on some very deep levels in our own bodies. The way our cells are functioning, our DNA, all of that, it's shifting along with this magnetism change. And so if you feel yourself being really tired, or cycles shifting in your bodies, or you're feeling yourself wanting to do different things or have different experiences, this is a part of the magnetic shift that's actually bringing us into our more natural rhythm of who we are. And so to give you some background, when this planet Earth came into being and created and was seated with all of us beings, and some of us chose to come here, and all the different levels and layers of the story of it all that I won't go into now, but throughout all of that, in the power paradigm that came to this planet, that was imposed upon this planet, that is something that we're shifting out of now, right? All the power and control, the greed, the duality field, all of that that's shifting right now is shifting with this magnetism. It's almost like with this greater capacity of magnetism and awareness that's happening, those can no longer hold. There's not much of a foundation or of a hold for those to stay in place. And the moon itself was also imposed upon with these paradigm control, and the rhythms of the moon that we've been following are part of that. Okay, so there's still a lot of depth to, the new moon, the full moon, and the cycle. But we're going to notice, maybe even the course of our lifetime, or maybe our children's lifetimes, and so on, that there are going to be some very different cycles that are going to be taking place because of this shift that is happening right now. And our earth is obviously going to shift. And so us as women, we may feel it, we may notice a difference in our cycles and what's happening in our bodies as we are shifting to the solar cycle, not the lunar cycle. And that's always what it's been, is the solar cycle reflected through the moon. But now we're shifting out of this mediary experience, right? Like, me, priest, God, me, moon, sun. It's really coming into direct communication. We're going into direct communication with ourselves, the sun, the central sun, all that is coming into this unity field, right? 0 point. And this moon is really about being still. And I even noticed the shift where on the new moon, I was like, is it a full moon or new moon? Because I was feeling the full moon energy, that creative flow, awake, just really boom, a lot of energy coming through, right? And plus, we were also receiving a lot of activation energy. I did a new moon activation. If you didn't see that, check that out in the YouTube channel, Awakened Soul, with Kristen. And now I'm like, I just want to go inward. I just want to be still, quiet, rest, and go into that place where I'll be planting seeds, right? And this experience of being still right now during the full moon is getting to know ourselves so much more deeply, reflecting on our intentions, our motivations behind what our desires and behind what we're creating. Okay, so really sitting with yourself and being in this still inward reflective place and going, all right, who have I been? Who am I now? And who am I calling forth to be right now in this present moment as my future past selves merging here in this moment? What have my intentions been? What are my motivations? And doing any transformation work to hone in on what's really true in the heart for your intentions and motivations for what wants to be created through you and what you want and what we're doing together here as a collective. And going into that, I am present space of who you are as a unique soul, and then looking into the collective as well and going, wow, how am I interplaying with this? And how am I being affected by it, and how can I affect it in a way that's beneficial for all of us? And that brings me to effect, right? We are not at effect of the planets. We are in and of ourselves receiving the same information and having the same experience as all these planets, in the transits and the alignments and conjunctions and all the things that are happening. It's happening inside of us at the same time that it's happening. And all that it's doing is illuminating inside of us who we are within that geometric experience. So that coming together of energies. And so, yeah, there are these powerful things happening, and it may show up differently for you than it is for somebody else. And that's okay. We have these general ideas of what it means for these different alignments to happen, for this full moon to happen, for the 11-11 to happen. But really tune into ourselves. It's really time. This full moon is really, and the sun codes that are coming in right now are really allowing us to say, okay, who am I in all of this? And going into a much deeper, more still space with ourselves. And renewing our sense of self, renewing our sense of creative capacity, and coming into unity with our soul and ourself on a more aware, conscious level. And I know a lot of us have been doing this work, and it's just another opportunity to maybe take a pause and go in and reflect and come out renewed and refreshed into the world with more conscious awareness and intention and transformation around that. And so it's really all about lightening up too, lightening up our sense of being, lightening up our bodies. What are we putting in our bodies? What thoughts are we having? What emotions? And that's always the key for every day, right? But now it's like, let's get into light body. Let's really shift with ourselves and each other into light body. to light mind, to light emotional field. And so we're doing kind of a 180 shift within our beings, within this planet, within the sun, within all the other planets. And so really allowing whatever needs to take place for this shift to happen, for us as a collective to move together. And so enjoy this time, give yourself some lightness and some stillness, some rest, some reflection. And also, there's been so much coming together with this on bringing together our timelines and parallel lives so that we are all embodied as a soul here now. And so stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a discussion and meditation on that soon, to give more in-depth detail of what it means to quote unquote collapse timelines and merge parallel lives and come together as a whole unified being at this time in this space, in this body now. So enjoy your full moon. Thanks for listening. If you found value with this, pass it on, share it with a friend and a loved one, and to see if it would benefit them as well. So much love, much peace, and whatever you're experiencing, share it in the comments. I'd love to interact in this way. All right, peace.